Yeah, fucking thanks a lot, mate. Yeah? You're a fucking smart guy now, eh? Yeah? It's about to get fucking Joe Pesci up in here, huh? You fucking smart guy.
Funny how? Like I make you laugh?
Yeah.
That's not how he says it.
No.
Like I make you laugh?
Yeah. Yeah, no, he is legit scary, you know? You see the scenes and you're like, yeah, I would really not like it if he said that to me, you know?
Can you do
but
impression
then
of
at
him?
the same time, it's like fucking, he's a little fella, you know? But that's not the point, is it? Because it's like, even if somehow you beat him up, which, well, you probably would, let's be fair. Although, I think he would just like, he'd overwhelm you with his like savage,
nah,
like...
man, you'd beat him up open and shut case.
No, but in these movies, what typically happens, like in one scene, for example, he stabs a guy with a pen, if I remember correctly, before the guy can do anything. So that's more the point, is you're dealing with a fucking, like a savage, you know, who just like...
I would be able to defeat him.
He doesn't... Yeah, you like attack first.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Yeah.
People like
see,
Joe, well, not Joe Pesci, but like
eyes.
whoever actor, what the character he plays. They wouldn't say Joe Pesci crazy.
That's all you have to do to beat Joe Pesci. You strike first. Like in those films, there's never a moment where someone else strikes first and he wins. He doesn't ever fight back. He just basically attacks someone. Assault. It's not fighting. It's assault. That's what he specialises in.
Y'all know I'm going to be swinging the fist first. If punches are getting thrown, you know I'm throwing that first one.
Yeah. I'm imagining you're having like, for example, it's like at an airport, like sort of cafe bar, and you're having like a kind of panini or a sandwich, and you've got a coffee, and right at the moment when you realise things kick off, you've got a slightly stupid look on your face because you've got like coffee and like panini in your mouth, you know, and you're like...
Bit of cheese pull.
Bit of cheese, what, stringy? Like,
yeah.
Yeah, you got a little bit of cheese. And you've just been, in your left hand, you just grabbed your napkin, you were just about to pull the napkin up to your face to wipe your mouth, but then like, you've sensed something in his body language and demeanour and facial expression has gone over the line, and then you kind of like, it's never happened before in your life because you've never been faced with this, but you just turn like a cat, like an angry cat, that kind of feeling of cat, you know, not the fighting style, but just the like suddenly some part of you know the way a cat...
You saw me getting off board and you were like, no, not letting you now brought me back on board.
Yeah, I made it clearer, and because you see how that cat has like an immediate like, it's like so
fighting
instinctive.
like a cat, not my style.
Because you see a cat normally and it's just walking normally, and then they get read up for a fight and its entire back turns into like a fucking arch, and they look crazy, and you're like, that cat is really, a switch has been flipped in that cat's mind. And
y'all know I'm crazy, unpredictable.
Yeah, but you're like a cat that's like never done that, but it's like cats do that. So this, you know.
I'm like the cat that snapped.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Okay, I want to go back to that scene you just set up, but I wanted to tell you how. So I've noticed already. See, I've actually.
Well, the key here though is when the food's in your mouth, the food and the thing. What happens with it? Do you spit any of it?
No. Let Daddy take a turn, okay? Let Daddy take the wheel.
Take a turn. So stupid, annoying.
Look, you had your little test drive.
Yeah.
I'll let you drive around Sainsbury's car park. Now you get in the passenger seat and let Daddy take back the wheel. Okay. So. And the big key part of this is like, there's, where you realise things are about to go south and you react early, but then real OGs, they notice that even before. They notice before the notice. You hear me?
But you're speaking in a way that implies a scene comparable to you being in an airport and Joe Pesci getting ready to assault you and you beating him up. Yeah. Has anything even remotely comparable to that has ever happened?
No, but
you're really like, you dropping science on the listeners. Here's what happened. Here's how it goes down.
Sometimes you just know.
Yeah.
I know, okay? Anyway, so I've noticed the moment before the moment before the moment. You hear me?
Yeah.
Y'all hear me?
Yeah. You've been about the moment.
Yeah. No fidgeting around, I'll tell my story. Have your little sip. You're ruining the atmosphere. Have your little sip. Glug glug. Lie back down. You need to just be hydrated for this one. Okay. Okay. So I've noticed the moment before the moment. So I just neatly set my panini down in front of me on a napkin. Now, what you might think would be the instantaneous reaction is to weaponize the hot coffee. However, it's not a controlled spray. I think it's too obvious.
More importantly, you've put lots of extra cream and stuff like that in it, so it really would be quite warm. It would. Outside of that context, it might even be quite nice.
I'm being extra poorly in this scene. I'm extra round. Got my cream. Got my full fat, full mozzarella, and pesto.
That's probably hotter than the coffee.
Well,
you could squeeze. Oh.
Let's not. Okay.
I'm still on toes.
Yeah. So I neatly set my panini down on the napkin in front of me. Yeah. And like it's so smooth, like just there's not even been a single like just a little hiccup or anything, just not even a little bump in my movements. I then open the panini up like a priest with a Bible. Okay, I open that shit up, molten melted cheese, both sides. Yeah, I'm weaponizing the panini.
I mean, quite a lot of time has passed. You open up the panini, he's going to be like...
I just want to tell you, I noticed the moment before the moment.
Oh, so he doesn't even know it's going to happen yet?
Yeah,
but you've done the equation in your head. You're sort of like, if he says this, I'm going to say this, and then he's probably going to react like this, and I'm probably going to react, and you're like, he's going to kick off in a few steps. I've seen the light shift slightly in his eyes. Like I've seen a muscle in his jaw jump. Like I know shit is about to go down. Right.
So open the panini up, yeah. Like a priest about to do a sermon.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You're kind of over the panini, like above it. Like the Pope.
Open it up. I don't look at it. The motion is so smooth, so masterful. You know, I know my way around a panini.
Yeah, a priest would look, but fair play.
But
a priest never goes like no look with the Bible. The priest is always looking down.
He might open it up whilst he's talking to the audience, you know, and it's not ready until...
No, that's way too much swag for a priest. They're always looking at exactly what their hands are doing.
Okay, now this is where it gets...
Especially when...
This is where it gets pretty gangster. Is that in order to because otherwise can you imagine the two panini sides opened, butterflied opened? It's quite, unless I sort of grip the sides of the panini, I'm not going to really have a very I want these paninis to be quite sturdy on my hands. Yeah, I want
one on each hand.
Yeah, exactly. So I have to slide my fingers inside the panini bread so that they sort of go over my fingers a little bit like boxing gloves. Yeah. Yeah. This is just so. You get, and then you just get to this, where it's like I suspend my disbelief that the cheese is gonna hold your fingers. No, not the cheese. No.
You're sliding fingers inside
they're under the
bread.
Backs, under the backs of the panini.
What do you mean the backs?
Like the back. Okay, imagine. Okay, I want you to imagine the panini. Okay, this is your problem. This
you said you're sliding your fingers into the bread.
No, yeah, into the bread, not into the hot tomato cheese.
Are you penetrating the bread? Or are you
yes, I'm penetrating the bread from the back.
What are you, Wolverine? You can't do that.
What do you mean?
How the fuck are your fingers just going to go through the dough while you're using leverage to put counter pressure on it?
Man, you could definitely... I will get a panini right now and I will show you.
You think you can put a panini flat on a plate and you can slide your fingers into the bread on one hand?
Yeah, okay, look, I'm going to do a demonstration.
Has the panini been cooked yet? Is it dough? Is it a big blob of panini dough? What do you think this is? An episode of Pingu?
Look, okay. So I want you to imagine this panini, okay? Okay, opened out like this, yeah? With my thumb, and I slide from beneath.
You hold your thumb down on the thing?
Yeah, a little bit on the panini, and again, it's really masterful.
Right, but the problem is that's a sort of 3-step process you're describing it, and it makes more sense in a way, but with your fingers in the back of the panini being your sort of your surface behind the panini, that's really bad, because when you then go to...
all I need, you're ignoring the sticky-like quality of the cheese. Bear with me here, okay?
No, but when your hand is flat under the panini, your hand is fully pressing the cheese. I presume his face. I don't want to be too presumptuous, but I presume the cheese is going on his face. You need even pressure. When you smush it into one bit, what you do is give him a panini cheek.
You know, like the thing that they hit in boxing, the flat thing on the hand that they hit? It's a bit like that. I've kind of created...
Oh, you've gone upwards a little bit.
I've gone upwards into... See, now you get back on board.
You're sliding.
I'm sliding a little bit.
So your hand is still kind of flat.
A little bit like a Chinaman's foot into like one of their sandals, yeah? You see?
So your hand is just a little bit curved.
Yes, thank you. Are you back on board now, okay? I feel like I was losing the ball.
No,
there for
I'm
a
not.
second.
I'm off board again because once again you're describing a ridiculously difficult manoeuvre.
I really didn't think it'd be that difficult.
And I'm looking at your hands and I'm thinking, that's not
Those in glass houses should not throw stones.
Beg your pardon, my hands fit very nicely inside a bikini if any man's hands will.
Yeah. But
that's not the point. No, I'm trying to say actually that, like, I think I can't really picture your hand going into the panini or sliding up it like the back of a boxing pad, and there being no outer surface breakage that would ruin the integrity.
It's quite
of
a nice thick little Pret
that is a monstrous
or Starbucks panini.
No, that would never be big enough for Starbucks panini.
It's definitely Starbucks panini is like quite thick.
This is a Victorian workhouse job where you need a child's hand to go inside the panini.
Okay. I'm saying panini. I'm thinking a bit more ciabatta.
No.
Ciabatta.
It's been panini the whole time.
Okay, but it's like sort of a thick panini. Okay, I want you to get back on board. Okay, I know you don't like the fact that I'm spinning.
Can I suggest a resolution? We agree. We negotiate that you just pick up the panini.
No,
you slide your hands flat on the panini.
This is quite an integral part.
Because it's not going to work for me. If I'm supposed to believe that you've just gone through the panini.
That's why I'm so masterful.
Okay, as I say, and when I do the noise, I'm back on board because I'm thinking.
Yeah, that's exactly. Look,
you're meant to be like a Jet Li type.
Exactly. So I've done this. Yeah, I've been like.
But to be fair, would you accept Jet Li doing that?
I'm like Jet Li, but I'm not.
Let me see the phone because the thumbs were not there.
Hit again. So it's like, okay, so I've gotten, I want you to imagine that I can actually, so I'm holding on to the panini with my thumb, and I've kind of slipped my fingers under.
No, don't tell me, show me.
So it's like a little bit like, yeah?
No, that's just, what just happened then is just would not.
Well, I'm not doing it exactly, Kieran. I'm using a mobile phone, so I think you need to kind of like, use a bit of imagination here.
I think the only way it could happen, in a film, for example, you go, your thumb, and it's first you see your thumb go onto the outer edge, you hold it and you're just there positioned. You get positioned, then you, with your thumb in place, then you go.
It's a non-negotiable that it's in one fluid motion.
One fluid motion is very sort of it's like you're the Sandman or something.
It's impressive. It's very impressive.
It's just.
It's pure class.
It's.
Okay.
I can't think of it.
Anyway, I will.
Of a Jackie Chan or a Jet Li or a Steven Seagal who I would accept this from.
Like a Jackie Chan. I'm a little bit like a Jackie Chan.
Jackie Chan would never attempt to convey something this ridiculous and
I'm
impossible.
like a Jackie Chan, Steven Seagal kind of type, just in general.
Yeah, but even they wouldn't be crazy enough to pull off a move like this.
Well, exactly. But I am. Okay, so then we'll get back on board. So I've almost kind of got the panini a little bit like a sort of like an oven mitt situation. Not exactly, but I'm just trying to paint the scene. Got the panini, okay? The molten hot cheese.
Oven mitt, now you're talking my language.
The molten cheese is an important stipulation. It's on the side facing outwards, okay?
Right.
Then
the side facing
outwards. So not the side touching so my hand is in the bread, it's not in the cheese, the molten cheese.
The cheese, if you hold your hands up like that, which way is the cheese facing?
So this is the cheese side.
The cheese is where your phone would be.
Yeah, the cheese where the phone screen would be.
That's fine.
Yeah.
So the cheese is not on the back.
So then, like a little chimpanzee, Joe Pesci, he's already begun. Perhaps maybe the strange sort of sight of me doing the motion, that's what maybe provokes him.
Forget it. What?
Yeah. He always thinks that's sort of like sacrilegious towards the the panini, the Italian panini.
Yeah, it's almost the way he reacts to, for example, just like homosexuality or something.
Yeah,
he's just like, whoa.
Fuck. And I sort of imagine him literally like a chimpanzee, just sort of like almost with his knuckles on the ground, like charging towards me.
That's not how I see Joe Pesci. He stood next to you at the bar.
No, in this one he's a little bit further. He's maybe on the other side. No, he's not far away.
He wouldn't get far away to discuss something with you. He would always get close to you.
No, I'm saying he's coming up close. He maybe
So it's been a very brief conversation.
Very brief.
Oh, so
it doesn't take a lot.
He's like, oh, Darren, and you're just like, and then you.
Yeah, back and forth. It doesn't think about Joe Pesci and think about me. It's like a match to a stick of dynamite.
So, because normally the problem with Joe Pesci is he comes over and he might smile at you and talk to you for a second, and you just like, hey, we're just talking, and then suddenly he gets real scary and intense.
That's kind of what's happened for maybe across the side of the Starbucks.
To him, so really, he doesn't even. He's like it's like an anaconda who goes to do its twisty thing, and you just cut his head off.
Exactly. Now you're back on board. I'm liking this energy. This is good. Yeah. So then he comes over to me. Maybe he's about, I don't know what he's about to do. Maybe he's about to say any number of things. I don't want to wait to find out. Maybe he's going to slap me. Maybe he's going to shoot me. Maybe he's going to stab me. You don't know.
He might just say something really nasty.
As he gets up close and personal to me, I hit him like Gordon Ramsay did that time with that lady with the faces in between, with her face in between two slices of bread.
Idiot sandwich.
I get my 2 molten hot paninis, my little panini mittens.
Yeah.
And I slap him. Both sides of his head.
And he's like, whoa!
Yeah, literally, the cheese...
He's reaching for his gun. He's like,
the gun drops down to the ground. I kick the gun away. Yeah, exactly. And any, people initially are horrified that I've done this to Joe Pesci, but then they see the gun fall out of his jacket, his child-size jacket, and then exactly, and the cheese is melting into his face. The tomato and the cheese is like horrible, like cocktail flesh, blood, tomato, mozzarella. Smells oddly delicious. And he just collapses to the ground, crying and screaming. Sound a bit more like Joe Pesci. Yeah.
I don't want to sort of scream and cry too loud.
And at that moment. Too good
of an actor to do shit like that.
The intercom goes, says my flight is ready to boarding. I just get up and go.
Oh yeah.
I board my plane smiling.
Yeah, no, that's fair play. That's absolutely fair play.
Thank you.
Yeah, but there are a few issues with this, right? Okay, so we've gotten to the end now.
Yeah.
It's taken a while. There's been some revisions. There's been some back and forth, sort of, some discussions about this. Mm-hmm. You're having a martini fight. Yeah, like it cuts to the end, maybe just before the end credits or something.
Oh. And I order panini on the flight because I'm hungry. Because I didn't get to eat my panini earlier.
No, you've got your martini, and it's a really nicely colour graded shot. There's a lot of sort of hints of like greyish and silverish and kind of white kind of colours going on. It's nice, and you've got your martini, and the flight's about to board, and then they ask you if you want like an in-flight meal. And you're like, that one smells nice, what's that? And they're like, it's a panini. And then you're like, and you go to spit your martini, and then it freezes. It's like freeze frame. That's the last frame of the movie, and then the credits come.
I like more composure and come across as a bit more cool, a little bit less like sort of Adam Sandler fucking... We go back.
Well, it's a deal breaker for me in the studio, I'm afraid. We definitely want a moment where you spit out your martini and it freeze frames, and then the credit, and it's like... And then a wacky music plays.
And it turns out the real treasures were the friends we made along the way.
Yeah. You say that in like a voiceover, but it's unclear which friends you're referring to. Or
there's
when
no friends we made this whole.
And you're just wearing like a beret on the plane, and your lipstick is just going like all over your face, and you're just insane. No, but okay, there's a few things wrong with your vicious assault on Joe Pesci, unprovoked, I might add. He hadn't done anything yet.
But he did have the gun.
Well, we found that out later, so I guess you were, but the ends don't justify the means, do they? You assaulted basically a little person on the grounds of nothing, of suspicion. You go around doing that? You go around beating up midgets because you don't like the cut of their jib?
I turned out to be right.
Yeah, what? I hope you're referring to the Joe Pesci time. Yeah, so anyway, the thing is, right, the problem with this is he's being treated as any old fucking lackey bum in some movie. He's been treated really here like his character from Home Alone more than from one of the mob guys, because in Home Alone, that would work, and it seems like you're a bit stuck on Home Alone, to be honest, and you're saying, oh, this is me if I'm a cool guy, a mobster, but really you're like, this is me as Kevin from Home Alone, and this is Joe Pesci from Home Alone, but wearing a mafia suit. In a mafia movie,
I'm talking this in real life.
You slap the panini in his face, even if it is a seriously hot panini,
fresh out of the toaster.
Well, you've been eating it.
No, I've had like maybe the first nibble. Even I have found it a bit too hot.
Right, so it's just come out. Just before he came into, you were in sight of him, and the guy brought it, and you were like, "Fuck, it's hot, isn't it?" You're joking with the guy, and the guy's like, "Oh yeah, sorry." And then you're like, geez, and you look at something like steam comes out, and then you're like sniffing it, and you're like, and he sees you.
And I'm fiddling around with my cream and my coffee.
Yeah, nice. And he comes, you got your,
I think maybe when he's screaming and crying with his face in between the molten panini, I think I might say, he'll have his to go, I think.
I like that.
Thank you.
Yeah, and the molten panini, he'll have his to go. Does that make it so? He'll... I'm trying, on the surface I like it, but then I'm like, what does that mean? He'll have his to go.
Does that mean the panini's going to go with him?
The panini's going to go with him? Yeah, or maybe there's something better you would say than that.
Maybe he was waiting in the queue to collect his food afterwards. Oh, okay. Here we go. Okay? So the panini incident happens. He's screaming and crying. As this happens, they're calling his order, and he's got a nice frappuccino. I go take his frappuccino, and then I say, I think he'll have his to go. And then I leave and take his frappuccino. Or could I be like, need to cool off there, Joey? And then I put his frappuccino in his face.
Yeah, or could be something about his order gets called. Wait, he hasn't ordered a panini in this situation.
No, he's ordered a frappuccino.
Ahead of time on the phone. He knew you were there. Oh no, he didn't know you were there. He ordered it, and then he saw you in there. Right, that makes sense.
I've never been to Starbucks before.
So we said it had to be Starbucks. We said it was an airport bar.
Yeah, it's a Starbucks airport, yeah. I mean, who the fuck's calling up?
He's from the other side of the airport. He drinks them. He's like, give me a frappuccino. I'll be there in 10. That bitch better not be there. Then you get there and you fucking slap him. Jeez. No, so it's like a hotel bar kind of thing. He ordered earlier and he went out. Out and then you came in. Mm-hmm. But his order would have to have taken longer than yours. He'd ordered a slightly crazier panini. Mm-hmm.
Maybe he's angry because he thinks I cut the order in front of him because I got my panini first.
No, you've obviously got history in this scenario.
Oh yeah. But maybe it was the straw that broke the camel's back.
Oh, he's like, now you take my fucking panini. Yeah. There's something about when they call his order and yours on his face where there's something about like he's already got mine, or like I think he's got enough on his plate with mine, or I think he's had, he's having mine or something.
Let's leave the weekly clips to me.
No, but there's something about how he's like.
I think he'll have his to go is better.
I think his to go doesn't make any sense because he's lying on the floor.
He could go to the hospital. He hasn't got time to be eating this frappuccino.
You could say something about how the food wasn't right for him, like something about it was like.
Or maybe he's ordered a cappuccino, and I'm like, I think he preferred iced coffee.
Here's what you say. Mm-hmm. No, he's better on the floor, and you go to the... and you go to the waiter who brought you had the little joke with earlier, and you're like, told you it was too hot, and then you sling your coat over your shoulder and walk out.
No.
You've already told them it was too hot, and then it's burning and
No, I think saying...
You're a tyrant.
I think him saying, I think he preferred an iced coffee is better.
Mate... So I told you it was too hot. That was perfect.
Look, I think we're trying to reinvent the wheel. I think he'll have his to go. I think, the first idea was,
Well, look, you've got to be comfortable with the dialogue in order to deliver.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
So
anyway, so he has to go right in his
How much would we have to pay Joe Pesci to actually go through this short film?
He took like years to convince to even do like a Martin Scorsese film.
So like what? Like a long phone call?
At least maybe 2.
Yeah.
Maybe some like threatening emails. He's sort of old enough with the fact that it's an email might make him think that has no credibility.
Like a letter.
No, an email, because it's an alien world to him. A letter, he'll just be like, fuck you, whatever.
Like you got mail.
An email, he's like, it's this freaky computer shit.
What was You Got Mail called in Spain again?
I think just like...
tengo un email.
I think it was like, tienes un correo electrónico. It was correo electrónico. Ridiculous.
Little puppy's whining. I think she might need to go do diarrhea outside.
Is she whining?
Yeah, she's
whining. She's not getting up.
She was whining a little bit through the Joe Pesci story, and she's really upset for Joe Pesci, but I think she wants to go do diarrhea.
Okay, alright. Well, just one thing I want to just get across.
Yep.
The problem is that Mafia Joe Pesci, it wouldn't matter how hot the cheese was, he would not be caught dead dropping to the floor and screaming from it. He would scream, but then even during the initial scream where he put his hands on his face and he's like, like he would... in that moment boot you in the shin, like as he's clutching his face in pain, he would boot you in the shin.
I don't think so. I think he would fall.
He would boot you in the shin. It's also a classic little guy move. It's one of the best little guy moves. Just boot someone in the shin with quite a tough shoe on.
I got my steel leg protectors on anyway, just in case I ran into him.
Oh, so that does. I think that's better. Yeah, it's like because he has to act a bit.
Because then he kicks my shins, and then his foot is hurting.
Yeah, he handles it quite well.
Adding insult to injury.
Well, then, as they say in Sopranos, these things come in free. So basically, you burn him with a thing, and he's like, you fucking bitch, and he goes to like do something, kicks you, and then as he's pulling it, going reaching for his gun, kicking you in the shin.
The gun gets kicked second. It goes panini cheese attack.
No,
kick,
listen,
and then shin.
Yeah, the panini's on his face, and he's like, you fucking bitch, and he goes to kicking the shin whilst also getting his gun. And the kicking the shin's just a quick fire, like just immediately, like fucking.
And I'm wearing
my
night suit of armour.
Yeah,
like
he's wearing loafers. It's tougher than a night suit of armour. It's really thick metal. You're boiling. Your shins are roasting, but you know it's a classic short move. So you always wear these because you know he's like.
Me and him got history.
And he breaks like a couple of his toes, not the big toe actually, the two next to it. He breaks both of those, and the others is hurt too. And the big toe, he gets a nasty thing on the nail where it kind of pulls the nail backwards, and it's so much that he can actually feel even that. Like you can feel that the nails been pulled backwards even amongst the broken toes.
Bad day for poor old Pesci.
And he's like, and it makes him really disgusted in the combo of that. And then as he screams, he feels like from his face moving how much cheese is actually on his face. He's just and there's for a second where he's just never really experienced anything like this. And then you just like, again, you've never experienced it. You just like clobber him really hard on the nose, and you do it in a sort of.
No, that's not my style. That's not class. That's not class.
You do it in an almost Stephen Fry like way. It's like you're wearing a big coat, and you're sort of just like poof, and you just like a Boris Johnson kind of punch, and it just fully in an.
I would prefer maybe I say how I go. Sit down. And I push him onto the chair.
No.
Yeah.
You're not getting away with that. You have a second.
I am.
No.
Bro, he's got molten cheese panini all over his face. His foot is literally obliterated.
There's a moment where basically you have a split. You get a free shot. This is it. This is your moment. You get a free shot. What you do, you clobber him. You throw all your weight behind it. And it's just like a big old bear punch.
It's not my style.
I'm afraid it is.
I go.
I'm afraid.
Sit down, and I push him, and he sits on the chair.
No, it's like you're at a record label and you're like, I want to be the next Kendrick Lamar, and they're like, we see you more as a tiger. That's what's happening to you now.
Now I go, sit down, and I push him.
No, you're Clint Eastwood.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, he sort of carried himself with more class and dignity than
that. And then when he sits down with the full sitting down, a little bit of tomato goes on my cheek. And I just wipe it.
The sitting down thing is not having. He doesn't. No. This is turning into an Elvis music video. He doesn't sit down because you told him to.
No, I push him.
He's never sat down.
I push him.
Somebody else's behest in his life as an adult.
I push him. I give him a real good chest shove.
They come sit down.
That's what I'm like. Sit down, and I give him a chest shove.
There's absolutely no way that having broken toes and burning hot cheese all over his face
and molten hot cheese, he's disfigured for life.
And being shoved by you is enough to stop the animalistic rage that would come out of Joe Pesci at that moment.
What, you want me to fucking like gut him like a pig?
No, you just deck him. Or look, the way you do it though, it's almost like.
Can I smash him over the head with the plate? Let me smash him over the head with the plate.
Here's how it's more close with the punch. Right, it's more like the characters in an anime where they're almost a bit like depressed, and then timing's out. Remember, they look kind of unbothered by what's going on, and you just like swing, and you know exactly like in your head that you see the moment, and you just clobber him, and you're not even surprised because you felt.
Okay. Alternative. This is where I meet in the middle. This is my final offer.
Yeah.
There is a vase of flowers on the table.
Mm-hmm.
I just grab it, and I'm like, looks like you might need to cool off. And I pour the water over his head, and then I smash the vase on his head.
No, but I'll offer you an alternative.
Yeah.
You in a dignified manner, it's not as crazy as it sounds. You grab him by the lapels, and you just run all the way. Like you just pick him up and you're like, ah! And you just run all the way to, and there's a big window that goes just out into the main airport bit, and you just throw him through the window, and he goes flying, and he's made unconscious by the fall.
I think it's a bit harder for me just to walk away casually back onto my plane after that.
No, because he goes in the opposite direction. He goes distraction. And when he wakes up, he's so belligerent that the police just assume that he just torpedoed himself out the window because he's such a fucking nutter. And they just see you looking all chill, and you haven't got any marks on you because you threw him. So you just grabbed him, your fingers aren't like cut up from anything.
Look, guys, write in. Tell us, what did you think was the better ending? Maybe write your own ending.
You get on the plane, you sit down, and you're like, 5 paninis, please. And they're like,
no,
we don't have any paninis.
Now you're getting carried away.
Like, we don't have paninis, and you're like, 5 paninis, please.
She doesn't feel good.
No.